Welcome to the Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station. I'm your host, Ed Doxson. What's going on, y'all? I know y'all probably wondering where I've been at, what's been going on. I've been reposting a lot of the older episodes and, just uploading some more shorts and stuff like that from a lot of the previous episodes. But I've been MIA, y'all, because it's been a tough couple months, The title of this episode is Transitions. I think it's fitting for what I'm about to talk to y'all about what I was dealing with, and then currently the space that I'm in. I just turned 32 yesterday. It is now 3:32 in the morning, and I'm recording this podcast to catch up with y'all. I got some fresh, raw thoughts. I feel good. I feel great. But it's been a lot. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you all and being transparent, because this is the motivation station, but none of us perfect. And the reason why we have the motivation station is to help people get out of some of those spaces when they're not feeling motivated, when they're feeling down, when not. And, that's what's happening to me. October, I would say to the end of January. I talked about it on a few episodes. Those who follow me on social media, you've seen me post about it, but I lost one of my closest friends, Carly Thomas, and my pastor October 16th of last year. So on the same day they died, and then the funeral was on the same day. And I had to go to both of those funerals on the same day. So I was doing good, in the beginning, but once I got back to Florida, man, it's like when it really hit me, that, wow, like this is, you're alone, you back to reality, the funeral happened and all that. And, I just was, in a bad space. I would say I'm good now, but I'm still dealing with it, but I know how to manage it well. But, transitions is a great topic because, as I think about and reflect on just turning 32, I know y'all, I'm like an old head now, right? But I love it, though. I always wanted to be in this space because I grew around a lot of good old heads. But nonetheless, being 32 and talking about transitioning to that space, man, these last 3 months, I really had to, push myself. When I talk about the hustle plus faith and all that, I had to push myself, right? But, when you talk about the hustle plus faith and that faith piece, man, I got into a point where, I've raised out the question of God, but, man, it was so tough. Losing both of them, man, I really just went into a space where I started to see a person that wasn't me. I started to see myself doing things that I normally don't do. I started to see myself stop doing things that I normally was doing. I started to see myself not, going to church, not reading the Bible like I normally do. I started to see myself kind of isolate myself, starting to see myself just, 3 hours of sleep a night, like, man, really going through it. And through the process of this, though, I really helped myself. I'm not going to say I helped myself. God helped me, but I got into a space where I got closer to God during this whole time, man. And the reason why I say transitions is because, mentioning them down on the same day, and mentioning them having a funeral on the same day, it was like a point for me, I'm like, God, like, what you trying to tell me? Like, what you doing? What you saying? What am I supposed to take from this? I'm a big sign person. I'm asking myself, what's the sign from this? And then at the same time, I'm be honest, like, I'm beefing with God. I'm really like, what you doing? Like, this don't even make sense, but who am I to question him, and that's why I'm saying, I'm raised in the church and I firmly believe in God and I know it's his will, not my will. But this was a time where I think, I just really couldn't understand it. Still sometimes scratch my head about it, but I deal with it better now. Going on a couple of, what is October? It's almost March, so going on 5 months later, dealing with it a little, not even a little, a lot better. But the reason I titled this Transitions is because, like I said, transition into 32, dealing with transitions when your loved ones transition and they end up dying. It's just a different type of feeling. But I think the thing with transitions is that, transitions have to happen for certain other things to happen. I can say for me right now, man, being 32, I appreciate all the birthday love, the shout outs, the text messages and everything. But, at the end of the day, we're our own worst enemy. And I could say, man, the last 3 months, I feel like when I turned 30, a light hit on and I felt, so much more accountable and I felt so much more mature as a man. But like literally these last 3 months, like I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like a real man. And you know what I mean by that is like, man, dealing with the storm, dealing with the grief, dealing with, you know, what they say, pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. I really just, in the last 3 months, man, I transitioned into a different space of really learning and adapting to weathering a storm, man. Like, this has been not even been one of, as a friend, for a friend death, this has been the hardest friend death ever. You know, even losing Ryan at 15, y'all had me talk about my best friend Ryan when we was kids. That wasn't the same as this. You know, we met in college, and I won't go on too much about it because I know we talked about this on the episode, but I'm just giving y'all more insight. Like, you know, meeting in college and going through life together, and his mom embracing me, and we talking about, you know, future plans, and we going through, you know, relationships together, meaning like, you know, I've met his girlfriends, he's met my girlfriends, we've been on double dates, we talked about doing double dates today. Like, man, it crushed me, man. Like, I'm crushed right now, just still thinking about it and always reflecting on it, but now I'm able to deal with it. And so when I say transition, right, I say transition of like, through this moment of dealing with these two deaths, I keep saying this because just to give you all the idea of that, like, I'm raised and taught God as a kid. You know, shout out to my grandmother, Mother Hunter, my grandfather, Deacon Hunter, Sister Lancaster, my aunt, just everybody. Like, I'm raised around this, so I understand, you know, God, religion, faith, what it means, right? But these last 3 months, this is the first time that I literally had to lean on the word and lean on God to get through a tough time. Like, yeah, we could say, oh, we prayed about it. Yeah, we could say this. But no, because I really was at the lowest point where I really went to God. Like, man, like, you know, you just did one with taking these two away from me, and I'm crushed. And it's like, these are two people, specifically my pastor, Bishop Easley, who I'm talking about. You know, that's someone who I would lean on during these tough times, you know. So losing both of them was so tough. And it's even outside of that happening, there was so much other stuff happening in my personal life, challenges happening in my professional work life, health stuff, like, man, you name it. And, you know, I really had to go to God, like, just, man, you know, I say humbly submitting, but like really going to God, like, man, I need your help. You know, like, I don't know if it's going to be today, tomorrow, what, but I need your help. You know, man, these two deaths just brought so much anger in me. Like, I ain't never been this mad, just, you know, bust out, I'm cursing, I'm angry about this, I'm in traffic mad. I can't even work out the same. Like, I'm talking about, I'm really going through it. So the whole any means mindset, like, y'all, it was gone. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it 1,000 with y'all, man. It was gone. And that's why y'all wasn't hearing from me, because I didn't want to produce you know, bad content because I wasn't in the right mental state. You know, shout out to Lano for the platforms for service episode. I feel like if there wasn't my uncle doing the interview, man, that would have been a trash interview, because y'all probably couldn't notice, but if you look at the pictures that we took, man, you could see the pain on my face. But, you know, I was able to build off of his energy, and that being someone that I look up to, and, you know, we just having a great relationship. I was able to build off of that and, you know, be able to, you know, produce a good content. But I told myself I wasn't going to get on here and do an episode till I felt mentally right. And, you know, going through the birthday and these past couple of months, now I'm back good. I'm good. You know, I got we got a episode coming up in April. I won't tell y'all who it is yet, but we flying out to Chicago. And we got a nice episode that we're going to do out there with someone that I've been watching for about 5-6 years, who kind of do their own blog and podcast thing, you know, music artists and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that and whatnot. But today, when I talk about transitions, y'all, 32, right? Before I started, hit this record button, I actually looked up the number 32. Like I told you, I'm big on science. And after everything I just told y'all, what I've been dealing with and where I'm currently at mentally, it says the number 32 is a symbol of balance and harmony. It represents the perfect union between material and spiritual realms. Those who resonate with the energy of the number 32 are often gifted a natural ability to express themselves creatively. So with reading that, there's also another definition of the number 32 that says It's associated with divine blessings and the fulfillment of God's promises. It represents a season of growth, transformation, and spiritual renewal. Embracing the message of the 32 angel number can lead to a deeper connection with your faith and a greater sense of of purpose in your life journey. And like I said, I looked this up before I even thought about talking about transitions and whatnot, but that's currently the space that I'm in, man. My faith has increased so much over these past 3 months. My understanding of God's word and understanding of after going through the storm has increased so much over the past couple months. And I'm sharing this with y'all because I know I'm not the only person that is going through it. Somebody is going through it now. Somebody else has went through it and somebody else will get through it. The thing is that we got to get through it, and that's what I had to learn, where it's like, okay, bro, I found myself, going out to the bar. I found myself eating more, I found myself just up, man, and just like, waiting for somebody to attend that pity party. And it's like, man, this is not life and this is not how it do. They always say, well, think about what they would want and how they want you to be happy. Like, man, that stuff sound good, but like, literally, I don't think I understand. Like, I'm talking about I wake up in the morning, I'm crying. I'm going to sleep, I'm crying. I'm like, really like, dang, bro, like you can't shake it. But what shook it for me, was really something I always pray for. I always pray for God to send people in my life that draw me closer to him. And, I have 3 friends who I know during that time. They may not even know because I wasn't fully opening up to them, but just, having that energy and talking to them. And once I did finally open up to those friends, they really helped me, man. And I always tell God, ask God rather, can you please speak to me through other people? And, what I mean is that, like, send me those signs of how I need to move and how I need to guide. So, like, I really got into the word and I'm like, man, I want to understand this word a little bit more. Like, raised in the church, go to church and do it. But I'm like, understanding the word. And if you raised in the church, man, it ain't nothing like understanding the word in the midst of you going through a storm and going through something. So, I'm going through and, the verses, I feel like when you looking for signs for God, you can go to one church, another church, you can talk to somebody, whatever. Man, all of the Bible verses, all of the lessons start relating to what you currently have going on. And, I went to visited a church before I went on a trip. And one of the lessons, I'm looking at my notes right now, but one of the notes stuck out to me. It's at Bethel. And it said, God takes us through a process to mold us. After the pit comes the palace. And I was really, dwelling on that because I was like, man, it's like, you're going to always have tough times. And then typically when you have tough times, there's good times come with it. And there's another storm that's going to come. Because I've been telling myself this is not the last storm. And I ain't trying to get my preacher bag right now, Friday night Bible study. But I'm just saying, man, like, these transitions right now that we go through in life, they have to be done. Transitions through age, transitions through losing people, transitions through allowing new people in your life, transitions through cutting people out of your life, transitions just through being a better person. Like, I'm in a process now for this 32 chapter is all about renewing my mind. And when I say renewing my mind, not even just from a religious standpoint, but just from a human and a man standpoint. Like, man, as long as you mentally tough, as long as you got the ability to make sure you got to do what you got to do to get through whatever come your way, you're going to be good. Because it's a mental thing. And like I said, I was so mentally crushed, it affected my physical. It stopped the working out. It made me want to drink more. It made me want to eat bad. It made me want to be angry. It made me want to be mad at the world. It made me, have attitudes of people. It made me have road rage. It made me have all these different things. And like, for me, I always say, you can't lie to yourself. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm knowing, like, bro, this is not you. Like, how can I shake this? And normally I'm the one that can shake stuff. Even if I stress a lot, overthink, like I talk about here on the podcast, all these different episodes I drop for y'all and try to give y'all knowledge and bring these amazing guests on and they give you knowledge. This was a tough time. And we all go through it, but we all don't share it. And I'm sharing it now. I think we don't share it in the midst of it, of course, because you probably don't know how to do it. But I'm sharing it now because I know someone is going through it or is going to go through it. And I want this episode of transition to be a part of that. So part of what I'm saying too is the thing is that we got to embrace it, embrace that you down. I think that was the thing. As much as I was upset that it felt like, I wasn't being my true self, I also started to embrace like, okay, bro, this is the moment right here. This is the moment that you're going through the storm. You got to let it be what it be. And you're going to get through it. You know what I mean? You're going to get through it. And that's exactly what I'm currently doing and will continue to do. But, man, 32 today, man. I was at the beach earlier today. I was praying. I was reflecting. I was listening to music. Went on a little walk. And, man, I could just say, man, I'm so blessed to be here. Not even just talking about these two, recent deaths in my life, but I just was reflecting on back to teenage years of, people who got killed, people who got arrested. Man, just so much, bro. Like, I could go on and on, but, like, so happy, man. I'm confident, like, right now in, like, who I am. I've been confident who I am, but when I say confident, like, I don't know. It's something about these last couple months where it's like I just got reminded of, like, bro, like, you a man, and it's like you ain't even touched the tip of a storm yet. Like, I don't have kids yet. I ain't married yet. So imagine when, you're going through a storm and it's something that you're dealing with kids. You're a dad. You're head of a household. So I started to just get into those different type mindsets. And, going back to reflecting on those who follow me, know a saying, shout out to S. Renee Smith, Dale State alum, when you find your pain, you find your purpose. That's something that I've carried with me, in regards to, doing community work, working with people and all that type of stuff. When Ryan got killed, that was something that stuck with me once I got to Dale State. And that's something that I had to get back on too, man. Like, this is my pain. So when I'm thinking about Kali, find your pain, find your purpose, I just reflect on how much of a good friend he was, how much of a good family man he was, a dad, boyfriend to his, all of these things, right? So me finding my pain and tapping into the purpose was like, man, I want to mimic that and do it 10 times harder. So, even with some of my friends, I'm finding myself now, I consider myself a good friend, but sometimes we could get caught up in our own world and be in our own space, reaching out to these different friends, trying to show up more, trying to show up even more for the family, even when I don't want to, all those different type of things. I really started to like adapt, kind of in his memory. So, this birthday, man, for me, it's been great. It's been one I wanted to spend alone. Well, I ain't gonna say I want to spend alone. I'm lying, y'all. I definitely was trying to go to like Jamaica, Puerto Rico or something. But man, this prices was spanking and I had to make an adult decision. God blessed me with a new car. So, once that car note came back into play, it was some transitions for sure. Transitions with how I moved that money around. So, nonetheless though, man, I was just like, cool, I'm gonna be here in Florida. I wanted to go home to DC, wanted to do something with the family, but that didn't fall through or whatnot. But I end up just embracing his own space and doing it. And while we on the topic of transition, I know a lot of people are afraid to do that sometimes. I know for me it's a little more easier because I'm an only child, so I'm kind of used to being solo, even though I am consider myself a social person. But that's part of the transition too. We don't want to be alone, man. I talk to people in my life that's, trying to change or trying to do things or trying to whatever. And I tell them like, yo, isolation, don't get me wrong, too much isolation not healthy. You got to definitely have a community, have a balance. But sometimes you got to isolate yourself to really get the results that you want. You have to, because it's like, this is how the world works. When you say you're not going to do something no more, that's when they come your way. Literally, right? This is how I go. You say you're not drinking, right? Somebody hit your phone up. Yo, man, come link up. Happy hour with me. You say to yourself, you're not having sex. You get a text from an old flame. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's those type of things where, like, you get tested in the midst of, like, you trying to change. That's why the isolation is so key. You isolate yourself more, too, because when you isolate yourself, too, you can hear better. You could think clear. You could do this. You could do that. That's me for my birthday, right? That was everybody's, oh, what a party, what that. I ain't turn up. I ain't do nothing. I ain't party. I ain't drink. I ain't do nothing. And in society standards, people are like, oh, my God, you got to do this, got to live life. Nah, I'm cool. Because I'm telling y'all, these last 3 months of my life, I know for a reason, man. It's like I turned 30 and I feel like, cool, I'm a grown man now. Then 31. But it ain't even just age, it's the life experiences. These last 3 months have really defined me in so many ways that I know I'm going to carry with me for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Like for a fact. And this is part of the transition where we got to embrace transitions that come in our life. Because now I know it's something else that possibly is going to happen. And transitions are not a bad thing only too, as I'm saying, because now it's like I'm looking forward to the transitions of these next 3 months, 6 months. Like I'm telling y'all, right? Because see, now I'm back. Y'all probably hear it in my voice, the confidence. Man, I'm back and so ready for everything new. I'm just ready for new. I'm ready for just new money, new bag, new opportunity, new podcasts, new guests, new heights, new connections. Like I'm just ready for everything new. And dealing with those negative transitions have prepared me for this. And I want y'all to really take away from this episode of just being open to those transitions and stuff, man. I'm really looking forward to, these next 8 years, and I say 8 years, I'll be 40. Looking forward to just life experiences, man. Like I'm excited now talking about it. I'm excited now thinking about it. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for sticking in with the podcast. I appreciate y'all for, tapping in with the reels I'm posting on Instagram, all those different type of things. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I thought about just throwing the podcast away for a little minute. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I was like, man, I ain't about to do this no more. I ain't in the mood. I'm mad. I'm angry. Just FYI for y'all, it ain't there yet. I ain't getting no bag from the podcast yet. But that's why we steady gonna keep working till it come. And I'm investing in it more. Like I said, going to Chicago to do an interview. We actually got an interview coming up next Friday too down here in Miami. But just like expanding and putting more time and more money and more effort in. Right now it's 3:53 in the morning, and I'm sitting up here recording an episode that I'm about to chop up real quick and post, and it's gonna be available in like an hour or so. So, man, the transitions, I just want us to really like stay on that. When I say stay on that, just be open to the transition when it come. Be open to the pain when it come. Embrace it. Like, don't run from it. Because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do everything under the sun when Khalid died. I was trying to do retail therapy. I was trying to do all these different things and nothing worked. And I would get mad when it ain't work. I'm like, dang, I'm trying to do so many things, or I'm thinking about, yeah, I'm gonna do this for bro. This is what we used to do. Like none of that stuff worked. But now I just learned that, man, I had leaned on God, and like I said, this is a podcast where I'm sharing my beliefs with you. But I know everybody is not super religious, or everybody might not be Christian, or everybody might not believe in God. So I'm not saying that on you. But what I'm saying is, you better believe in yourself. And just from my perspective and my life, how my life's set up. You feel me? I believe in myself, but I believe in God first, and then that's how I do believe in myself. So whatever worked for you, I ain't saying you gotta do it the way I do it, or you ain't gotta do it the Muslim way, or you ain't get the Catholic, but I'm saying you gotta have a way to figure out how to believe in yourself as these life transitions happen. Because I'm explaining to you the bad transition, but also the good transition. So yeah, man, I want y'all to definitely subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to keep growing it. We almost at 300 subscribers. Shout out to YouTube. Now you only need 500 subscribers to start monetizing. So I'm happy about that. So I know I need to post more often. Like I said, we got some good interviews coming. That one in Chicago gonna grow the channel. We're gonna get some more views. Shout out to Scooter Davis. He got a fight coming up March 30th. That's still the highest viewed episode on YouTube so far. But yeah, man. This is a great time. I just feel like it's so much greatness to come for this year. Even before, this year started, I kept telling people that it's so funny. I kept telling people I felt like this was a transition year. Literally, I was like, it's 2024. We 4 years out of COVID. It's 2024. We got a presidential election coming up. It's 2024. We got the local elections coming up. I'm talking to different friends. A lot of my friends, everybody's saying to me, yeah, man, I'm trying to get back right with God. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get this business started. Yeah, man, I'm trying to switch careers. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Shout out to Lexi, man, my little cousin. She about to graduate college from UMES in May. Drew about to graduate from high school, Reservoir High School, in June. So it's like so many different transitions coming, occurring. And like I said, I ain't like, didn't know I was going to record an episode called Transitions, but I know that's what I was talking about, a couple months ago and whatnot. So, yeah, man, y'all know what I always say, hustle plus faith equals success. This is Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. And trust me, I believe y'all, we about to go up. We about to take it up. We about to level it up to a next level. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all for motivating me. You know what I mean? Like just keeping me on my toes and looking how you got to do it. Like shout out to Lauren LaRosa doing her thing. It's my sis. Shout out to my cousin Fat Marco doing his thing. Shout out to I Talk Great Podcast based down here in Broward in Miami. He doing this thing. Because a lot of those things, man, I would see it and it would, kind of keep me motivated. All those different things. And also, too, like, man, Desi Banks. I listened to Desi Banks and Shannon Sharp podcast the other day, man. It was real motivating as well. So, embrace these transitions. Find out where you can get your motivation from. And let's keep it pushing, man. We can't give in. We cannot give in. And we can't let life get the best of us, man. Because it's going to come. The storm's going to come. They're going to come. But, you find your way of whatever you got to do. Like I said, if it's through God, if it's through a mentor, through a person, if it's through whatever ways, you got healthy ways to motivate yourself and pick yourself back up and embrace that transition and get the win. You got to do it by any means. So you already know, man. Follow me on IG, Dreams by Any Means, DREAMS by Any Means. That's S, is no Z, nothing like that. Follow the IG page, DBAMTV. And, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, man. I'm looking forward to continuing to tap in with y'all, continue to bring out some motivation and some guests. Next Friday, we got a lawyer coming on. That's going to be a great episode. Young black woman, Courtney, doing her thing based out of Baltimore. Been down here in Miami for a couple of years. So I'm going to tap in with y'all. Appreciate y'all for listening to my little spill. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.